Hello, everybody. Welcome to Nerds on the Couch Live. Today is Thursday, May 22nd, 2014, and we got a lot of stuff to talk about. First of all, we had some big Batman news. We had some big Star Wars news. So we got a lot that any nerd and geek in the entire internet needs to know. But first of all, this past weekend, we saw a big, huge movie.
Big and huge is understatements.
And radioactive.
And he looked slightly happy.
At times. At times he looked like he was going to cry.
Phew, okay, sorry, I had some technical difficulties here. Okay, I didn't lose anybody, right?
No, you didn't.
No.
Okay, we're getting started on the Godzilla thing, and I gotta say, this movie, right off the bat, I'm just gonna tell you, I liked it. I really fell in love with it.
I felt like the wide-eyed boy that I was when I was a kid, going ahead and seeing Godzilla movies on TV, which is where I usually saw them. This is one of the few times I've seen Godzilla on the big screen, and usually those Godzilla movies weren't as good.
Well, let me tell you, there's something different. There's something different from seeing it on the theater. I've seen a few Godzilla movies. Oh man, I know I saw one what was it, like 4 years ago? No, it's been longer, I think.
There was Godzilla 2000, which really stank. That was the one that was done in Japan with the alien spaceship monster. Then there was the Matthew Broderick debacle.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
no. We're gonna forget
No.
that one.
We don't want to even talk about that. But does anybody remember Godzilla 1985?
I do.
Yes, I do.
I cried in that movie. No.
But I mean, man, how can I say this? Yeah, I mean, I love the Godzilla movies. I consider myself a Godzilla aficionado, and going into it, like David said, this brought me back. They really captured the spirit of the monster film genre in this one.
Well, let me ask you this. Did it feel like you were watching a wrestling match?
No,
And that's what I miss about that. That's the
Yeah.
only thing I didn't enjoy about it, is that it didn't feel like a wrestling match. I love the fact when I watched the original Godzilla movies that it felt like a wrestling match, going right there on the screen. He's taking him down. He's gone ahead and grabbed him. Power driver.
Are you
That is
calling
for Pacific Rim.
Are you
Yeah,
calling
dude,
Godzilla and are you
Go
calling
ahead.
Godzilla and his buddies luchadores?
Yeah.
Well, people are calling them kaijus now, but and I can't deny it. They are. But there's a certain thing about it that I realize they can't go back to that. I mean, some of us who remember the old films, like if a Godzilla did a move, you'd see him jumping and clapping his hands.
Yeah.
No, this was, when I saw the fighting, it was primal.
Yeah. You saw Godzilla being an actual beast, and he's biting the other monsters. He's grabbing them, trying to rip them to shreds, and that's what they brought in this one.
Well,
Uh,
I mean, we are going ahead and revealing something. There are other monsters. That's been let out of the bag. So if somebody here watching us hasn't seen it, you get more than just Godzilla.
Yeah,
Well,
King Kong. Oh, I let it get out of the
King
bag.
Kong.
I can't deny it. If you've been at the toy aisles and all that, they got the other toys, I guess. But I mean, first of all, I'm glad they have the monsters. I'm glad it was a Godzilla versus another monster. Because, when you have Godzilla by himself, you do have a completely different movie.
hmm
But we
And,
already got the hint there were going to be other monsters when they did the first trailer, and we were going, wait a minute, that's not a Godzilla hand. That's like, as you had called it, a spider leg. So we
Yeah.
knew something else was up.
And even right
Actually,
now, when I was at the movie theater, I kept thinking, what is this? How am I going to describe this? It's like a spider praying mantis.
I
actually,
thought
what
it was a
reminded me.
cockroach.
No,
I
no, no,
kept
it
on
reminded
trying
me.
of
It looked a
cockroach.
lot like the thing from Cloverfield. That's what it looked like to me.
Well,
Oh
to
no,
me,
no,
well, to me,
no.
it looked like an amalgamation of stuff. Number one, it looked like the walkers from let me see, the Jim Henson movies, The Dark Crystal. You remember those big, long walking rabbit things with the mouth from let me see, how do I describe it? From the monsters or the insectal aliens from the Starship Troopers.
Yes, yeah, I agree with a lot. And I can see where Tino gets the Cloverfield monster.
Right at the beginning,
Uh,
just right at the beginning, when it first
yeah,
comes out, it reminds me of the
I
Cloverfield
see
creature.
it, but then I do kind of see. I want to describe more of insects.
Yeah, they're very insectoidal. And please don't mention Cloverfield. I hated that film.
Only you, man.
I can't
Only
watch
you.
it. I can't
Yeah.
watch
Yeah, but you got
Well,
motion sickness problems.
let me add. Did you get motion sickness from this, Orly?
it. No, I did not. It was actually really, really good, really, really smooth.
I
Yeah,
mean,
because I was thinking of it like I mean, one, I was thinking like maybe like the scenes where it looked like CNN was covering this.
No, it actually didn't affect me that much. I've been desensitizing myself to it.
You know what I really enjoyed though? Bryan Cranston. I really enjoyed seeing Bryan Cranston in the movie, man. He did a
For all
really good.
10 minutes, he was in it.
Yeah,
Right.
whatever he was in it, he did a good job for what he was in it. I would have rather have seen more of him. The only problem is if we did, he would have overshadowed everybody else.
You're right, and sometimes you just got to go ahead and not have one really good actor for too much.
Well, I kept thinking, I mean, because I know a friend of ours, Kirika, is a big Bryan Rank Cranston fan, and I think she went to see the movie specifically for him. And I was going to complain that most of my complaints on the movie are not on the movie, but what they did outside of the movie. And in the trailers and all that, they really made him look like he's the star of the movie,
Yeah,
or he's
they
really into it.
hinted that, but I always knew that who the real star of the movie is.
Well,
Godzilla.
everybody knows it's Godzilla, dude. But I'm just saying, in the previews and all that, they make it look like Bryan Cranston is like one of the major stars, and in reality, he's only in it for maybe 15 minutes.
yeah,
Yep.
and along with that, I got kind of the same complaint you had about Dark Knight Rising.
Not enough Batman.
Fine. I'll explain about it a little later as we get down to the great stuff.
Yeah.
I can't.
Well,
I
I
got the
mean,
same kind of feeling.
that's another complaint I've been hearing about from different people saying, oh, not enough Godzilla. And I kind of see where it's from, but one of the things I got to say that was a major plus for me was the anticipation. This
Yeah.
director really built up the anticipation where you're kind of like, I was like, oh, I can't wait for Godzilla to show up. Oh, it's going to be awesome. You
Yeah,
know, I, I
and
guess,
I understand where you're coming from on that. Because you know what, Godzilla is not exactly the fastest thing on Earth. I mean, he takes a while to get someplace. This is a moving building. Uh, the other ones move a little bit faster, but of course he's just okay. I'm on my way. I'm swimming. Keep on swimming. When do I get there? It's like, oh my god.
And it's leisurely enough to where they can follow them in their boats. Um,
well,
okay,
still, I
ship.
want to save that with Godzilla. But one of my favorite scenes, okay, and without giving out spoilers, the railroad scene in the dark.
Oh yeah,
You guys
That
know
was
what I'm
good.
talking about?
Yeah, the
yeah,
Lone
I
Ranger.
do.
Yeah, when it was underneath them.
Yeah. I thought that was great. They're bigger than life, and you can't see them in the dark.
Well,
Yeah,
here's the one of the things I liked is that they're here going ahead and chewing down and chewing on nuclear missiles like they were hot dogs.
candy.
Yeah, I mean they're like, um, I mean I'm like, uh, the little kid in me is going, oh my god, I love this. As for not enough Godzilla, um, actually, I would have gotten mad if there was Godzilla from scene one. No, in a Godzilla movie, you build up to Godzilla.
Yeah,
Uh, I mean,
yeah, you're absolutely right.
you know, a lot of Godzilla films, it's how are people reacting? You have the military reacting, and you have normal people reacting, and then you have, the other thing is that they didn't have too many. There was a couple from Ken Watanabe diatribes about, the how mankind is messing up the world and all that. But it's not as bad as the original Godzilla film.
No, but I mean that's always a theme. You brought it up. That's a theme that has always been prevalent with Godzilla. Is that why we kind of did it? And now without spoilers again. The beginning is the nuclear accident in Japan, which I don't think it's based on the actual nuclear accident in Japan that may have actually created the the conditions for a real life Godzilla. But I first I thought, oh man, here it is and all that. But no, they completely take you the other way around with that storyline.
Yeah, they're hiding something, and you're thinking, oh, it's Godzilla that they're hiding. I can tell you this: what I liked is that the previews gave you enough, but it did not spoil any of the real plot points of the film. And
Well,
I hate trailers that give the entire film away.
I got the same complaint Renee has. I mean, we talked about Bryan Cranston only being in the movie for like 10 minutes, as he put it. Ken Watanabe wasn't in the movie that much either. In fact, I felt he was underused. You know what I mean? I would have liked to see more Ken Watanabe than the kid. I found the whole kid's journey boring, to be honest with you.
Well, I
You got a
agree with
point.
you. I agree with you. The thing too is kind of throws me off with the Ken Watanabe character because one, he was brilliant in it, even though yeah, he wasn't in as much as we'd like, but I thought he was brilliant. And two, I always thought that maybe he knew more than what led on because you see him in the beginning, you see him in the movie. I always thought, okay, maybe like this is a conspiracy, maybe again government cover-ups, because the beginning with the credit scenes and all that led you to believe that this is all a government cover-up and all that. And then it turns out again that he doesn't know anything. He knows as much as we do. It's kind of a letdown.
You expect our government officials to actually have something to go ahead and be able to, they know a little bit more than we do, but when they don't know anything, it's like, oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, actually, that's kind of this disjointed part. Now that Renee brought it up, they tell you that they've been following the creature for Monarch for I don't know how many years, and then on the other hand, they tell you that they have no idea what they're doing. So it what's going on, We've been
Well,
following this since the '60s, and but it took some outsider to put things together. It's just weird.
well,
Well, again,
basically, it's the old adage: the left hand doesn't know what the right hand is doing.
I was gonna say, I thought there was more to Monarch when I was into the movie. And again, Monarch is the corporation that supposedly has a hand in all this. I thought like Monarch or so, the name was too. Well, I was thinking of King Ghidorah in it, with Monarch, but then I kept thinking maybe that's the aliens,
Yeah,
because
it's
Godzilla
true.
had aliens, and I was like,
Did
oh
you
man,
guys
what if that's alien?
did you
Or
guys
it's Mothra.
did you guys catch the Mothra reference?
Which one?
Mothra. They mentioned they made a Mothra mentions and Mothra. They mentioned Mothra in the movie. It's funny.
Oh, how? I didn't catch that.
Yeah, well, it's real fast. That's a right. It's when they go back to the house. Remember, the dad and the son go back to the house
Yeah.
to like get notes. Well, you as they go into the building, you see a glass like aquarium thing, and you see a butterfly, and in the bathroom, it's called Mothra.
Oh, I remember the aquarium. I guess it just slipped my mind. I mean, one thing now that we're going into it is like they announced it almost right away. Godzilla 2 is coming.
Of
Actually, in
course.
2016.
Wow, that is quick.
So is it
Yeah.
gonna be? Is it in the same week as Captain America and Thor 9?
Oh, damn.
Oh,
Are you talking about, the ultimate of Godzilla face downs? All three together? You could just imagine them all,
You know what? The only thing
going
that I can
through.
imagine at this point is shut up and take my money.
I'm
Okay, we
gonna
get
be.
out of
I'm
one
gonna
film.
be.
Now we're going to have to go into the line for this film. We
I
get
tell
out of
you
that
this.
film
I'm
and it's
gonna be
like
real
long.
busy that weekend.
Oh
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, it's going to be like going at Disneyland, going ahead and trying to go from ride to ride to ride.
no, but I gotta say again, no spoilers, but the door's open, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
For
yeah, left it wide open.
I
Wide
mean, the
open.
door's open for Mothra. It's open for Rodan. Uh, all these other ones.
King Ghidorah.
I mean, Mecha Godzilla is an obvious choice for part two.
Oh yeah.
And one of my personal favorites is Jet Jaguar, which was that android.
Ooh.
Yeah, you know who I'm talking about. He was like that
Yeah.
red android one that
Jet
just did
Drag.
this, and he turned big, big, big.
Yeah. The Jaguar.
Yep.
Yep.
I love that guy.
Yeah, the
Oh,
one that would do all the poses and.
Yeah,
He was a.
yeah. Well, I was watching the movie. I was telling my sister, "Hey, where's Gypsy Danger?"
You know what? I did miss that part. You know what? I was missing something like that. I was wanting something like that, but
But
I
it's
knew
a
it wasn't
different
going to
type of
happen.
film.
oh man, it would be awesome if they did a crossover now.
that'd be interesting.
Crossing over universes. I mean, I bet there's at least fan fiction of it.
Well, but then you know that Mecha Godzilla, it's probably going to be called a Jaeger.
Yeah.
Well, you do know that Marvel produced Godzilla comic books, so it's not that unusual. We might see him in an Avengers movie.
It's
Uh,
true.
it would be great, but same thing. It's like seeing Shogun Warriors and all that back. But and for those who don't remember, those were those giant robot toys back in the 80s.
Mhm.
I
They
have
had the
just one
Godzilla.
thing, one suggestion for them never to do. Guys, any indication there's Godzuki in the films,
Oh
I am
God,
never going to
no.
go ahead and go
Uh,
to it ever again.
You
no,
know,
dude, I'm not denying. I'm not going to exclude that they will probably have a baby Godzilla.
Oh,
yeah. Well, the only thing I hope they do with that is that they kill it as soon as possible.
You know what? I hope not, too, because it was always confusing for me as a kid. So is Godzilla a boy or a girl? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I always raise that question. What is he? Is he a hermaphrodite? What is he?
Well, no, I mean, I'll
God.
tell you, in all the storylines, they always had it where they find the egg. They never say, man, somebody fix that crank. But they always have it where they always find an egg. The egg hatches. It's a baby Godzilla, and Godzilla comes looking for it. And they've always called it a mama or they've called it a dad. Who knows, man? Who
Well,
knows?
I still remember when Zuki was just learning how to use his flame on Monster Island, and here's the thing: he's going wah, wah, and just throws out a
Ring.
smoke ring, and then
Smoke ring,
instead
yeah.
Godzilla comes right behind him and steps on his tail just to get him to do it right. Now that's parenting.
Now, when you speak of that, how awesome was the fire scene?
Oh, I love it.
Oh, the.
Well, at first I was like, wait a minute, you see the sparks in the back. And I'm like, wait
Oh
a minute,
God,
is he?
yeah,
And
he's
then,
going to do it.
Is he? Boom.
I'll
Just,
say that was
Oh,
a really
yeah.
pleasant surprise. That was a pleasant surprise. I really really liked that they did that. I didn't
yeah,
think they were going to do it, so that was great.
well,
yeah,
because you did, I mean, it was disappointing to me since I'm going to deal a little bit with the, was it the 97 version? With Matthew Broderick and all that.
yeah,
He didn't blow fire. He was just like a runaway lizard.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's what everybody called him. That's what the Japanese called him.
Yeah,
Uh,
and here they're calling him fat. They're calling him the American Godzilla because he's fat.
he is no fatter. He is no fatter than the original Godzilla because I put the original Godzilla on right after coming back from this. He is the same. he is no fatter.
He still, I mean, he looked good to me. You know, I mean,
But it doesn't matter to the Japanese. If it's not done by Japan, they're going to say that it's America going ahead and messing up with their cultural icon.
Well,
and
I don't think they can actually say that in this one because, everything was good. I mean, it was just really, really good.
Well, it's the same as Frank Miller going ahead and talking about any movie made from his stuff. I
no,
mean,
but
not
again,
Frank
I
Miller.
gotta give a point here. Is that Orly's right? The director and the people behind this Godzilla movie respected the material.
Oh yeah.
They respected Godzilla. They respected what he can do. And, they worked with the theme of nature and animals and all that. And I got to say that I really liked it. But again, I understand the Japanese. The Japanese, this is a cultural icon. They're really attached to their heroes, and Godzilla is a national hero to them.
It's just like an American making a story on Nobunaga.
Well, I apologize. I didn't mean Frank Miller. I meant Alan Moore.
Oh, Alan Moore, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
nothing, yeah.
No
He'll
matter
he'll
how
go ahead
good
and
the
pen
movie
anything.
is, it'll never be good enough for Alan Moore.
Well,
Hmm.
Alan Moore, he won't even watch what they do. So, we
Yeah,
don't
who
even know.
cares? I mean, Alan Moore created the stuff, man. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
his. That's why he gives
But,
it away. There's no criticism on him, man. He created the stuff.
yeah.
It's
But
never
again,
gonna
I don't
match
want to
what he
tell
has
the
in his head.
Japanese, who cares what you think? I'm not going to tell the whole country that.
Yeah,
Okay,
especially when
No,
you got a car from them.
I'm talking about
Japan
Alan
hates
Moore. I mean, he brought up Alan Moore.
Yeah.
Alan Moore created all these things. Okay, so it's never gonna match. He's a guy who created it.
Yeah.
It's gonna come out from his head. So anything anybody else produces isn't gonna match what he's got in his head. I mean, I feel the same way when I read a novel. When I read a novel, I have a certain picture of it. If they make that novel into a movie, it's never gonna match what I had in my head when I read it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
but the thing is
Saying
exactly.
that Alan
Absolutely true.
Moore just doesn't even bother to go ahead and see what they've done. He just automatically says it's crap.
But
Yeah.
And
again,
I mean,
going to
he doesn't.
Godzilla, dude.
I mean,
Godzilla is a little
Godzilla's
different
Godzilla.
because, this is Japan's baby.
It
And
is.
I give them full credit. This is theirs. This is their creation. This is, yeah, I mean, I hate to say it, but this is one of their major contributions to the world.
What about our complaints about Godzilla versus King Kong? Look at what they did to King Kong.
Dude, if they actually did a movie where Godzilla versus King Kong, Godzilla would step on them, dude. Okay.
I know.
Yeah, they
Anyways,
would have to make Godzilla again. I mean, King Kong way bigger than anything now.
Yeah, just like when you had Homer playing King Kong, he was eating the people.
going
You'd have to
along
eat
with
a few more people.
going along with what Renee said, though, you know what? The good thing about this Godzilla was it wasn't like the Matthew Broderick one where we'll just shoot it full of bullets and we'll stop it. And this one, they're like, yeah, no bullets are gonna do anything. It's like, what do? We open the door, we let him go. We don't,
My
none
my
of
big
those.
problem is the big plot hole, which is what goes on 20 miles outside of San Francisco.
Yeah,
Has
I was thinking
no
about that.
I'm not going to say what happens, but this event happens and there's no repercussions. Everybody is like, "Woo, yay, thank you." And when actually what would be happening is totally different.
Well, the one thing I got to say is that I think there will be consequences because one thing I love is the way it ended the movie is that the world has to deal with this.
And now we get
people
Jaeger.
people have to deal with that there is things out there that are bigger than them. What is a human being to Godzilla?
um, the smush on the ground. Anyway,
Yeah, they're nothing to him, man. I mean, that's the way I saw
I
when
wouldn't say
Godzilla
that.
was around.
I wouldn't say that because in this there is the scene with the Golden Gate Bridge, he tries to not harm anybody, but it's the military going ahead and shooting at him that causes the damage, not him.
Oh, I
He
don't think he went out of no. I don't think he
No,
went out of his way to say,
in,
"Oh, look,
in
there's a
a way,
bridge. We got."
yeah.
you know what? I can't say that either because you know what? The way I saw it, he was just like, "Oh, there's something in my way," and okay, I'm gonna go there. That was it. I mean, it wasn't that he was trying to. I think you're trying to romanticize his actions. You
I
want to
don't
say that
think
he's a
so.
caring Godzilla. The Godzilla doesn't give two. He doesn't give a rip. He doesn't
He could
care.
have kept going on, and he should have, and he would have damaged the bridge, but he stopped.
Dude,
No, he
please.
went under
What do
the
they
bridge.
describe him in the movie? What do they talk to? What do they compare Godzilla to? They compare him to a natural disaster. I don't care what you say. A hurricane coming this way doesn't
Yeah,
say, "Oh, bridge, let me move this way." Okay, it's
You
a
know what?
natural disaster, man.
I
I need
think
to
you're
resee
thinking
this.
of the old stuff from Mothra. That Mothra
Yeah.
communicated with the two little princesses, and the little princesses went ahead and asked, "Please, please do this." And then Mothra went ahead and talked to Godzilla, and Godzilla's like, "I don't care. You know what? What happens to them? It's none of my business. I don't care." And that is truly Godzilla right down to his core.
Yeah, I mean, I saw Godzilla with the bridge scene. I saw him as just going the other. It was in his way, so he went underneath. He's not the type who would just, smash something down because it's in his way. He'll go around it. But that doesn't necessarily good or bad on somebody's intention. And when they fired those missiles and all that on him, I got the impression that it did nothing to him. He
No,
didn't even feel it. It was just like, ugh, what's this? He didn't even, it didn't even register to him. You know?
It's just like, oh, boom. Oh, what was that? I feel an itch. That's
Yeah.
all the impression I got from Godzilla on that. You know,
This is
like,
my impression. He got hit. Damn, I must have gas.
I don't even think that, dude. I don't even think, he actually felt anything hitting him. Even when, when his interaction with people, I don't even, like, the way I got it was like when he saw them, he didn't even see them. He just saw them as like stuff on the ground.
ants.
I
Yeah.
have a question, and I know this is the geek in me talking, the nerd in me thinking, and I was just thinking right now. He has fire breath. What the hell must his farts be like?
Ooh, yeah. You know what? That
Dude, I'm
considering
not
that he's
hurting
powered by
anything.
Entire
atomics,
city just
I
one
mean,
fart.
I was talking to my sister. Okay, this is a living creature. Okay, sooner or later he has to do his business. That thing is gonna be radioactive. Okay, anybody around that thing is gonna die. Okay,
you know what's going through my mind on that? That might be a new fuel.
actually, that's not. Yeah, hey, good point. I hadn't
Good
thought
luck
about that.
harvesting it, though, man. I don't want to think about it. Okay.
You know
Remember
what?
Ron Perlman in remember Ron Perlman's line, just a ton of kaiju crap would go ahead and fertilize how many fields?
God.
I like
Yeah.
A
that
lot.
Star Wars.
Okay.
A
All right.
million.
Let's.
So I sorry, I took us to the very, very puerile
Yeah.
end
No.
of Godzilla.
All right, guys. We got to start wrapping it up. Now that we usually do again is that we take turns, giving this a grade and all this, and we're going to do the round tables this time. I'm going to go first. One of the things, ladies and gentlemen, I saw it in 3D. I got to say, it was very nice in 3D. IMAX thing. Some people told me on the IMAX thing that they were bothered by Godzilla's roar. Me, I wasn't really that bothered with it. But I got to tell you this. Godzilla movies, you can't have too much Godzilla. And to me, part of the fun was the anticipation, waiting for Godzilla to show up. And I gotta say, it was fun. It was a popcorn movie. I really enjoyed myself. Ken Watanabe was great. Everybody else kind of, but it didn't deter from the movie. Special effects were awesome. I love Godzilla. I love the battles. Overall, to give this movie a grade, I'm going to give it an A. Right? Chino?
All right.
I enjoyed the movie, but there's certain things I didn't like. I mean, I think the setup was the one that bothered me the most. Bryan Cranston did a great job right from the beginning, and the actor that takes over after his scenes was flat to me. I really did not enjoy him or his interaction with his wife or any of that thing. Just really slowed down the movie for me. Um, you're talking about the build up to Godzilla. If they'd done a better build up, if the character was a little more interesting, there wasn't enough about him that it made me care enough about him. But then again, I'm kind of already jaded towards the movie because I know those two characters play brothers and sisters, so that just bothered me, about this movie. Um, as I went through, that bothered me, and I got to admit it though. I wanted to see more Godzilla. I don't care, just a little bit more scenes of him. Maybe at the beginning, maybe something. You know what I mean? What they showed was okay, but I would have preferred to see a little bit more Godzilla somewhere. Um, my favorite part in the movie, Godzilla. Every scene with Godzilla was great. Every scene with Godzilla made sense. What I really enjoyed is how they introduced him to the world. It they did it in such a way where it makes sense. Nobody was like, "Oh, I can't believe there's something there." No, you see all the ramifications of having him in the world and how people are gonna it makes sense why he's in the world. And I like how people adjusted to it pretty. There wasn't any like, "Oh yeah, Godzilla." Oh, I don't. Oh, wait a minute. I see. Yeah, okay, yeah. There's a Godzilla. Um, Overall, I'm hovering between a C and a B. I give it maybe a high C. I'd give it a C plus. Right, great. I really enjoyed the movie, but not enough Godzilla for me, and that interaction between the husband and wife was weak for me.
Right. David?
Well, um, I'm wondering if we saw the same film, um, because I absolutely loved this film. I mean, I grew up watching Godzilla Saturday afternoon matinees, going ahead and totally enjoying the good old 1950s sci-fi. Um, we don't care about the science. Let's go ahead and have a good time doing science fiction. And there was a scene where they had on the TV a CNN shot going ahead and describing how um, these monsters were able to go ahead and um, take out anything electronic, and it was showing missiles, these um, images of missiles coming towards it, and a very hokey sign of him going ahead and blowing up before they get to the monster. And when I saw that, I was going ahead and saying to myself, here is a movie that doesn't take itself too seriously. It's just wanting to have a lot of fun. One of my complaints of the other American Godzilla was that it took itself so seriously, you couldn't have any fun with the film. In this, I felt like a kid again. I was even at the right place. I was also IMAX, but we were situated because it was sold out, and my mother was with me. We were situated right in the front. And that's where you need to be in a movie like this. That little kid in the front row looking up at the big monsters. And satisfying all that for me, A plus. I loved it. It was everything I wanted.
All right. Thank you. Orly?
Well, I saw the movie. I loved everything about it except a few little things. I'm going to go ahead and remark. One thing I needed in this film and I didn't get was pretty Japanese girls, the two little princesses, and they should have
Uh,
updated that. They should have
Ginga.
brought it, and they should. They needed that. We also needed Godzilla's flying kick. You guys remember that?
Oh
Godzilla's two
yeah.
legs flying up, and his tail dragging on the ground, and he's just flying through the air and kicking the monsters. We needed that. Um, but you know, with everything that they put into this film, the graphics were good. They were, you know what, they were just very, very lovely. The movement, everything. You felt that this was a monster that could exist in real life. You felt you could, if you were inside of IMAX, I bet you could have feel that atomic breath just going ahead and just heating up
Oh,
the
you did.
world around you.
Yeah.
You can go ahead and see the you could feel the stomps just because of the sound. You were having to go ahead and cower from the sound of his roar and just feel it all. I mean, those all those little parts are unique. Yes, it has its problems. You know what movie doesn't have these certain little problems? I haven't seen a clearly flawless film, you know, in quite a while. But
Captain America.
yes, that is clearly flawless, and you know, and those are few and far between. This can't be Captain America, you know. This can't. You can't have Godzilla carrying the shield. You know that?
That
That's
would be
kind of weird.
awesome.
Yeah, but that would be awesome. That would be very, very awesome. You know, and just having all those little elements is just, you know, adds things to it. Now, I do agree. The relationship between the wife and the son and the husband, I could give a rip about. I didn't care. I didn't care about certain things. And let me ask you guys this, and you probably understand what I'm talking about when I say this. Did you see a certain parallel between what happened at the end with the soldier flying away in the helicopter and Predator?
Ah,
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, you know, when I saw that, I was like, oh, really? You know what? I remember that and all that. So I was like, okay, all right, you know what? I can take that. So because of certain little things, because I'm missing my Japanese little women and no flying kick, just to be the way I am, I'm gonna give this a 91 and three quarters.
All right. All right. So basically, again, we got a couple of mixed reviews here, but I think it's worth checking out. And moving on to a couple of quick news bits that happened this past week. Again, we're having major Batman Superman news. And now they announced the official title for the movie is Batman versus Superman, Dawn of Justice.
Whew.
Yeah.
What do you guys think
That's
of
good.
that?
It's just missing one word.
Well, when I first saw it, I was like, get it? Get it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
Doesn't
pushing. It's like pushing the plate in front of you and saying, "Do you get it? Do you understand? Get it?
all
Get
of
it?"
us that know all of us that know comics do. My brother wouldn't, my mother wouldn't, but they're not comic book nerds. They're
Yeah.
not our contingency. I mean, constituents. Uh, but talking about all nerds, yeah. If you don't get that title, then you have to question your nerddom.
damn, I got a
Well,
question my weirdo.
or you got to question your reading choices, anyway,
Yeah.
Yeah,
or you're watching cartoons on Cartoon Network and everything.
yeah, pretty
Um,
much so, yeah.
yeah.
Well, here's the thing, some guys. I was having some people, I was having this discussion, and they broke down the title the way it said. Obviously, I mean, right off the bat, Justice League is
Hmm.
there. And I think we all see that. We all see, that this is the start. And because, again, they already announced Zack Snyder is going to go do Justice League right after this movie. So we're going to see Henry Cavill and Ben Affleck, Gal Gadot, and the new guy who got, I forgot his name right now, who got
I,
picked to be Cyborg. What was his name?
I don't remember. Smith? Wilson?
Yeah.
No. The three of them.
But
Right off
the
the
one
bat. Was
thing
that
this guy was
Han?
pointing out, the way it's written, it says Batman with a V. Not a versus, not all that, but it's Batman with a V, Superman. And this guy is telling me, he's giving me some legalese and all that, and he's saying that when you go to court and all this, they always put the name of the aggressor because this is how it's written in courts. Plessy versus Ferguson. It's with a V, and it's all that. They always put the name of the first person who is pursuing the case.
Ah.
So
Yeah,
from this title, you can say they're letting you know. Again, from what I've picked up, because they've had people speak little tidbits. Batman is pursuing Superman.
Yeah, Superman's on trial, you might say.
Yeah, and Batman kind of, you can make the argument could be that Batman is the bad guy in this movie.
Hmm. Well, you know, it's like saying the prosecutor is a bad guy.
I I I wouldn't say bad guy. Uh, he's the antagonist for sure, but there's multiple versions of antagonists. You have in the oh god, what was it? The it the oh the guy.
We're on air.
Yeah, I know. You have the pursuer. The Jean Valjean versus Javert. Javert's not a necessarily a bad guy. He's not evil, but the thing is that to his world, that's he's doing what needs to be done, and that's the role that he's taking.
I'll give you the same argument I gave you for Man of Steel. You know what I mean? In a certain light, if you look at Zod, Zod is actually a hero. Okay, he's trying to save the Kryptonian race. He's trying to bring Kryptonians back, bring his people back. Okay, in a certain light, you could see Zod as a hero. You know what I mean?
Well, same thing
Maybe in
like
the
with
same
certain
way.
villains.
Huh?
Like you said, Magneto doesn't see himself as a villain. There's other, there's what you're describing is the tragic villain.
Yeah, and if we look at Batman, we can look at the Batman the same way. You know, Batman sees somebody like Man of Steel, Superman, sees him, and he's like, I gotta defend humanity from this person. You know, we've already seen what his people can do. You know, somebody has to be here to defend everybody else, us, from these people. You know what I mean? So I could see it. It makes sense to me. Batman versus Superman. Of course, Batman is gonna have to be the first one to make the move. Because if it worked the other way, I don't know how much of a chance he's got. You know, he's got to be the one to plan. He's got to be the one that sets the plan in motion.
Well, pretty much the way the script is looking, and again, not spoilers, because again, I don't know for sure, but it does look like there is an anti-Superman movement based on what happened in the first movie with Metropolis getting destroyed, and Superman is living on Earth, and that's unsettling to a lot of people. And the way it's looking, that it looks like Bruce Wayne is joining up with Lex Luthor, and they're having this anti-Superman campaign to get Superman out, and they don't like these changes that are occurring on Earth and things that are happening, and how it has to deal with how things are evolving and all that. You're right, I kind of get it, but same thing, it's where this is leading to.
It'd be interesting if it's like The Fugitive. Superman's taking Harrison Ford's role, and while you have Batman being the Tommy Lee Jones character.
Well, it makes sense to me. It does make sense to me. Because, Batman's always skeptical of anybody with too much power. He looks at somebody and says, you know what, I like you right now, but I still don't trust you. You can still go bad. You can
Yeah,
still go very, very bad. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to prepare stuff, and when the time needs to come, I am going to go ahead and strike, and you won't see it coming, but you know what, you're going to be gone.
I say here in this version, I think we're going to see a Batman who, like I said, he's the older Batman. He's burned out. He's tired. The Dark Knight kind of version. And he's not going to say, I like you now. I think he's just going to be, I don't like you.
Yep.
yeah.
A
My
threat.
view is that he's going to say, "You pose a threat, and I'm going to deal with that threat until you prove to me you are not a threat to those that I protect, I am going to go ahead and be there to guard against anything you do.
Yeah, well, you said, till you prove. I don't think he's giving him
I,
a chance.
but I don't think, I don't think it's going to be the broken bat, the older Batman. I think it's going to be a Batman in his prime. And, he's a veteran Batman, but it's not to the point where he's practically invalid like one movie that we had.
We're missing one point though. There is a wild card in this movie. Okay, Wonder Woman. She's a wild card. We don't know what role she's gonna play. Does Batman hire her to take on Superman somehow, or is it the other way around? Is she gonna appear to, help Superman out, or neither? She's a wild card. We don't know what role she's gonna play, but it's a pivotal role.
And the fact that she doesn't trust any men.
As much as Batman could plan against the Man of Steel Superman, Wonder Woman could easily tip the scales either way,
Well, and that's an interesting point you brought up. What is Wonder Woman's role? And again, the other fact is that they showed some filming footage, and they actually now showed Gal Gadot. She hasn't been caught in the Wonder Woman outfit, but she's been shooting scenes. She's in a blue dress. She's in a business outfit and going in and out of cars and talking to people. And I can't make out what the scene is. It's just car scenes and all that, I guess, But you're right. What role will she have? And I'm curious to see, if she's there, then again, you're adding another factor to this DC universe. You're adding mythical. That the mythical is real, just like how the aliens are real and advanced science.
Don't forget the
real.
multiverse.
Yeah, all that now is real. So that's other factors to deal with, and that might sway, the Batman character, that he has to realize that the world is a lot bigger than what he thought it was.
Well, he already has that with Ra's al Ghul, but I don't know if they're going to bring that part into this.
Yeah, it'd be interesting, but again, from that scene, we might think maybe there's a Joker here, but we don't know what else is happening here.
And then it's also the one more thing that you could get with Wonder Woman. Is she going to go ahead and do the New 52, go with Superman bit, or is she going to go with the original? Hey, I'm with Batman bit. The tension. Yeah.
Neither, man.
I am curious. Curious now, but Lois Lane is the love interest.
Who cares about Lois Lane?
Maybe Joker takes her out.
I mean, you already have a Superman without his undies, so it's possible to go 52.
Yeah,
it could be. It could be, but remember that in the last movie they smooched and all that, so.
Well, maybe he kissed her hard enough just to go ahead and make her lose her memory.
I hadn't thought about this, but you brought up Joker. It'd be interesting if the scene we see with Joker is Batman finally catching the Joker, or resolving his issue with Joker, because it would be interesting. Because in my head, it would make sense. We see Batman taking care of Joker, so he can focus on Superman. That would be an interesting direction. I don't know.
Well, either way, it's still worth looking at. Again, we're going to be paying attention. And the other thing that got revealed, that even though we saw a black and white photo of Ben Affleck in the suit, people have spoken again about the colors, and he is gray. The bodysuit they confirmed is gray, and he has the black chest symbol on it. But the cowl and his boots and gloves and all that are going to be dark blue. So we're looking at the first blue and gray Batman.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to go the Adam West kind of look?
Well, dark bluish.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember Kevin Smith saying something that the suit was actually black and white. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure what direction they're going to go with,
But you meant black and white?
Yeah, that's what Kevin Smith said, that the suit we see in the picture is actually black and white. For some reason. I don't know.
Because
I
the
don't know.
article we said, it said, look at the Dark Knight comic book. And, I looked at it and he's like blackish. It's like a blackish, bluish. Because they still said that, black still doesn't, it still doesn't record well. And he's not shiny.
Flat.
Yeah. But the other thing they've said, though, is that we are going to see multiple suits.
Ooh.
So that's still going to be cool. And you are going to see different vehicles. You're not just going to see the Batmobile. You're going to
Good.
see a whole bunch of other vehicles.
The bat tank, the bat plane, the bat pogo stick, that sort of thing.
Well, if you're going to fight Superman, you think he's going to have everything.
Oh yeah, it's gonna bring out the big guns.
Yeah. All right, moving on. We got to continue with our Star Wars news with the Keeping Up with the Force. Big thing that happened is J.J. Abrams did a short video announcing a contest, and he was filming on the set of what everybody's now talking. It's Tatooine,
Ooh.
and the official contest is basically if you donate money to a charity on the website and all that, you enter to win a chance to win a cameo role
Ooh.
for Episode 7. You're not going to the Middle East to shoot. You're going to London to shoot over there.
I prefer
But,
London.
Yeah,
I mean, at least in London I could drink.
but again, I think it's worthwhile. I mean, everybody has a shot of winning that walk-on role.
And then while you're there, you can say happy birthday to our favorite Wookiee, because he did have his birthday just this week.
Peter Mayhew again. He's a personal friend of ours, and I'm just super thrilled that he's on the set.
Yeah.
I mean, when I saw that picture of him back in the Chewbacca outfit, it got me here.
Yeah, and it's good to see that he's still able to go ahead and do that role, that he's able to walk, even even have the ability to walk.
Oh,
can
he's
tell you-
back 100%, dude. He's a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah. The black makeup, I know for the costume, man, he looks almost goth with that on. That was.
Oh well.
I mean, he looks cool. It's like scary there, Peter.
Now, I got to say this. What do you guys think of the first official Star Wars alien?
Oh, you mean the Pat?
The little guy who walked on set.
The Pat Morita looking guy, yeah.
Yeah, the guy that looks, like he's one of the hoarders from Labyrinth.
Yeah. Well, he looks like he's a very old alien that it's been around for a long time. You got to wonder if he's actually what what role he has, or even if he has a role, just a stand-in alien, just that's standing there. You don't even know that yet. But if he does something, what is he going to be? Like a hidden Jedi, or or let me see, or some guy making crackers? I don't know.
Do we
I
know
still
that
thought
they're using the Jim Henson Studios? I mean,
It looked very Jim Henson, didn't it?
Yes, it
he
does.
looks very, very Jim Henson.
Yeah,
So I'm
he
wondering-
looks like he's straight out of let me see, Dark Crystal.
Well,
He
Disney
does.
owns Muppets, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, Disney owns the Muppets and all that. Jim Henson Company is still a separate company.
Yeah, Creature Shop is still separate.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's kind of weird. Disney owns the Muppets.
But they don't
But-
own Jim Henson.
They don't own Jim Henson's company. And Sesame Street used to be under Jim Henson's company, but now it's under a separate company with PBS. So, it's
I
kind of
thought
tough.
that was that it was under the electric company.
No,
Electric company.
no.
No, dude.
I don't know.
No, but I think the Sesame Street now is under PBS. And Disney technically owns the Muppets, but they don't work with the Henson Company. They work because they want to continue the relationship. But the Henson Company is still separate. Remember, we drove and we saw the actual Muppet Studios
God,
in Hollywood.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
awesome.
I wanted to walk in, but
I did too. I did too, so badly. It's like my childhood.
Yeah, walk in and go ahead and see the way it is in the Muppet movie.
Oh
I
no,
didn't
dude,
even
we're just
realize it
gonna
was a real
see.
place they were
All we're
using.
gonna see is a security guard escorting us out.
Yeah.
yeah.
No, no, no. Sweetie kicking us out.
I don't think so. Yeah, they don't
Sweetums?
have they don't have him around all the
Was it?
time.
It's
Wasn't
gonna
it
be
his
Ray Park,
name,
dude. It's
Sweetums?
gonna be Ray Park
Sweetums.
kicking you out.
Yeah, it's probably Ray Park, but you know what? You're thinking of Sweetums. It's his
Yeah,
name
Yeah.
is
Sweetums.
Sweetums.
Yeah.
No, wasn't that Alan Arkin in the Muppet movie? Alan Arkin was a
In the
security
first one?
guard.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
yeah, it was Alan Arkin. But still, just to confirm on that, the alien guy, we don't know who he is. I mean, he looks like a background guy. I don't think he's a character. He's an actual
Oh,
character.
no. No.
But still, it was just really cool knowing that we're going back to Tatooine.
Wait, let me take a look at that guy one more time.
We
There's
got
something.
pictures of him up on our Facebook page.
Yeah, he
Doesn't
looks a
he?
little Yoda-ish.
No, but actually, the way he looks, if his head was a little bit flatter, he'd look like an ET.
Loosely. I mean, he's got a weird body.
No,
Yeah.
no, it's not an ET.
No,
All
you're
right.
right.
All right, just a little bit more. We got another thing that just came on the wire today. Godzilla director. After all, we just talked about Godzilla. Apparently, he's doing really good. Director Gareth Edwards has officially signed on with Disney to direct the first Star Wars spin-off movie.
Boba
We,
Fett.
well, we don't know.
Oh, we're hoping.
We're hoping. I mean, Boba Fett is a worthy character. There's also talk of a Han Solo prequel. Before all
Before
that.
he did what he did, and then
Yeah, before
you
Episode 4.
and then you got Yoda.
Just to go
And
back really quickly. I mean, not to change anything, but to go back, we talked about Andy Serkis being he's a consultant for Star Wars. You mentioned, right? And he's a
he
consultant for the Avengers for the Hulk, right?
no,
He was
he's a
also a consultant
consultant
for
for the
Godzilla.
Avengers. He
Yeah.
has a role in
In
Star Wars.
Yeah, he has an
oh,
actual role
cool.
in Star Wars.
Yeah, he was
Yep.
a consultant in Godzilla too. That surprised me.
Ah,
Yeah,
well, the
they
guy's
did
an
have
expert.
motion capture, and they had said they were going to use motion capture because they wanted the feel of Godzilla being a man in a suit. They wanted to still have that feel that they felt Godzilla had to have, and in a way they did.
All right. And then switching subjects a little bit because we're getting short on time. Marvel news again. They just announced it the other day. Eden Sher, in case you don't know, she's the daughter,
Daughter,
the crazy chick on Modern Family. That's what I call
crazy.
her.
She's
She
not
won't
crazy.
shut up.
Yeah,
And,
She's a
she,
teenager. She's not crazy.
yeah,
they usually are.
she posted up on Twitter and all that she had a meeting with Marvel Studios for a major role.
Which is really cool. Maybe let me see what's it called, Dazzler, or even I forgot her name.
Nah, I don't see her as Dazzler.
Nah, yeah,
Well,
actually, I forgot the name of the character. Always wearing the yellow slicker.
Oh, Jubilee.
Jubilee. That's it.
Well, that's more X-Men, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, we don't
Marvel.
know.
People need to understand something. Marvel Studios is an actual place.
Mm.
It is an actual place. It's now a building next to Buena Vista Studios, which is Disney Studios.
Mm-hmm.
And there's people who they catch walking in, because there's the paparazzi there, and it's a public area. Those studios and all that, the Marvel Studios is an actual place, and they've caught and they've taken pictures, and people have confirmed they've seen Johnny Depp walk into Marvel Studios. They've seen different people, they've seen Robert Downey Jr. go in there a few times. They've seen all the actors that we've seen so far go into Marvel Studios. They've seen The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, going into Marvel Studios. And now, Eden Sher, they've seen her go into Marvel Studios. So it's not an X-Men movie or anything like that. It's one of the Disney Marvel characters.
Well,
And
she tweeted that she got a role, didn't she?
huh?
She tweeted that she had an interview with whatever. She doesn't know what it is.
They
Well, she
Well,
can't tell
no,
us what it is, but
she's not telling, but she said
yeah,
it's a major role.
yeah, it's
have
amazing.
they already have they already cast the Wasp?
Yeah,
Yeah, Evangeline Lilly, man. We talked about it a while back.
Okay.
yeah, and she's they're getting ready to start filming. Paul Rudd might have a cameo in the Avengers, just like they
Hey,
confirmed that Don Cheadle and the other actor, was it Anthony Mackie who played the Falcon?
yeah,
Yeah.
Anthony Mackie, yeah.
Yeah, they both confirmed that they have cameos in the Avengers.
Oh, cool.
So far it doesn't look like she's gonna be in anything right now, but she confirmed that she's up for a big role. And if she tweeted it and all that, they don't do this just because spur of the moment thing. They're doing it to kind of get some noise going, get some buzz
Yeah.
going.
Yeah. Who
The
who
only
is
thing
she?
I can think of is Doctor Strange, man. That's the only thing I can think of in the horizon for now.
Her?
For what?
Her playing a role in Doctor Strange, not being Doctor
Well, what
Strange.
character would it be?
Well, again, a big
Oh.
role though. That's kind of the thing. She said big role.
She could be Chloe, dude. Chloe was an important role in Doctor Strange. She was his apprentice, you know? Or, yeah, became his apprentice. Not Chloe. What was her name? Yeah, Chloe or Cleo. Cleo, I think it was. Yeah, I don't know. I'm speculating. I have no idea. I can't think of anything else Marvel's producing aside from Ant-Man, and I think Ant-Man's locked. The only other thing I can think of is Doctor Strange. I don't know. I don't know what else it could be.
Well, the other thing I was thinking of is like they could have different. Now they're going to expand. They haven't announced it, but I was looking at her and I was thinking like, could she be? I mean, Miss Marvel.
That's what I was thinking. Maybe.
That's possible.
And then I'm thinking even so far as um, She-Hulk.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah,
I mean,
can't
it's time to expand. It's time to get different characters going. And I think Miss Marvel is worthy of being in there. I think She-Hulk is definitely worthy of being there.
Yeah, I don't think she could carry that right now. I
Well,
don't
not
know.
star in it, but actually be that character.
Well, looking at her, let me see, pictures. It's hard for me to say She-Hulk.
I don't know. I kind of like your idea with Miss Marvel if we're going with I think the new iteration, she's Pakistani, right?
Something
would be
like that. I don't know.
That would be an interesting direction to take it. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough, but I think now we're actually looking at new characters.
Well, by the way, guys, who all's excited for tomorrow?
Well, we're looking forward to X-Men.
Oh yeah.
And now that you brought it up, we're going to be moving on a little bit. And yeah, next week we are going to be talking about X-Men Days of Future Past.
I mean,
A lot of good buzz is happening with this movie.
Some are calling it the best superhero movie of all time, and that's not something to banter around with, because that means that you're better than Avengers, and that right now is a very high bar to go ahead and
yeah, I don't trust word of mouth, man. The same thing they said about Dark Knight Rising. It's the best movie we've ever seen.
Oh no,
Yeah.
I'm not
yeah.
word of mouth. I'm saying they're already putting it in their trailers. They better
Well,
back.
who's saying that? Who's saying that?
It's in the trailers.
Oh, come on, dude.
Oh, come on. You don't believe that. I
I'm
mean,
saying
no.
they have to back it up. They're gonna have if this is a flop, then that but I don't think it is going to be a flop.
No.
I'm liking what I'm seeing.
I'm saying this too. I'm saying I like what I see. The movie looks good, and I'm glad Bryan Singer is back.
Yeah, and there's potential to go ahead and fix a lot of things that went wrong with the X-Men movies.
And again, looking at it and all that, so far I'm impressed. I think it looks good. It's worthy. I'm really excited about it. I'm going to sit down, watch it with anticipation. And again, if it's bad, I'm going to be right here on Thursday, and I'm going to talk about everything that's bad with it. If it's good, I'm going to be here Thursday, and I'm going to tell you what makes it good, just like the rest
I
of you
mean,
guys.
those people that watch our show already know we're not going to go ahead and withhold punches. If we think it sucks, we're going to say it stinks to high heaven.
Well,
But
at
so
least we're not
far,
like the
Now, I
critic.
mean, for right now, the thing that set the bar for the summer already, which kind of it's good, but it sucked at the same way, was Captain America: Winter Soldier. That movie was excellent. I love
yeah,
that
you
movie. And so
you beat
far,
me to
anything
it,
I've
man.
seen hasn't caught up to that. Okay, there's nothing I've seen so far that's reached that. You know what I mean? If this
I'm
movie's able
with
to,
you.
I'll be happy.
Again, I'm with you on that, man, because Captain America, the Winter Soldier, really set the bar high for me. So far that one, like I said, I've never given 100 rating an A plus to a movie before,
Hmm.
and Spider-Man 2 fell short,
Oh
and
yeah.
uh, and Godzilla, as much as I liked it and I love it, I'm gonna get it on DVD. And now that it's still not as good as Captain America: The Winter Soldier. So going into X-Men, if it's good, I'm gonna tell you it's a good movie. It's worthy. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna own it on DVD. I've liked all the movies. I even like Wolverine too. But if it's not as good as Captain America, I'm gonna come here and say it. It's good, but not Captain America good.
What I'm going to say is this: Disney Marvel, has set the bar so high. You have to be Superman to be able to make that leap, to make that bar.
And I
Uh,
admit that Warner Brothers is getting there. I mean, they're not afraid of Batman Superman.
Yeah,
oh
but
yeah.
they need this to be a big, big, big hit because their latest films have not done as well. Though Wolverine did fairly well, it was not the success they wanted, and neither was, even though it did better than people expected, neither was First Class. So they really do need to hit it out of the park on this one, or else they're going to find themselves deep in the hole in the seventh inning.
Well, what people
Well,
forget
and
was
and
that
I don't.
X-Men. Go ahead.
Go
Go
ahead.
Go
ahead.
ahead. Well, I was
Oh,
going to say X-Men First Class, if you remember, as good as it was and all that, it was a medium budget movie. They did not put that much money into the movie, and it raked in really good amounts. I mean, they
In
were
comparison,
expecting it to do well, but it really did more than what they expected. Here, they kind of stepped it up because they went big budget again, and they went mega bucks on it, mega blockbuster level again. And we have to see if the movie can stand up.
I can tell you this: it's going to make a lot of money. It's going to do that because the buzz that I've been hearing, everybody is talking about it and how they want to go ahead and they've been looking forward to Days of Future Past. Um,
Well,
you
that
know,
goes
so
without saying.
but then again, Iron Man 3 also did very well with the regular moviegoers, and I want to see if, for me, they meet my expectations. You have to realize our bar for us is so much higher than what the rest of the world is because we know what to expect.
Yeah,
And
and
I'm with you.
yeah. All right. Well, when it comes to X Men, though, as well, they're already planning the second one, so they have high hopes for this one. But I mean, would it really be bad if it flopped? I mean, in some certain ways, I would like to see X Men go back to Marvel and Disney Studios to see what they could do with it. That would be interesting. I mean, for me, that probably wouldn't be a bad thing. We'll see. I mean, we'll see. I
Well,
mean, if it,
Disney.
Yeah, but you know that's not going to happen. It's just like
we don't
there's
know, dude.
rumors
We don't
now
know.
of Sony going ahead and selling Spider-Man off. But
No,
before the show, Renee and I were talking, and we were going, "No, that's not going to be. They're still making money, not as much as they would want to,
you're
but
not going to
still
let
making
go of
money."
a Mega Million franchise.
Yeah,
Disney is chomping at the bit to get X-Men back, to get Fantastic Four back. They're chomping at it, but it's not going to happen. Sony has the rights. They're not going to let them go. And Chino's right on this. This has the opportunity to reset the universe, to restart everything. And I know Orly, you want to say something?
Well, it's one of those things, but like I said, it's not going to go back, easily. Number one, you got a movie franchise here that makes blockbusting money no matter what. Even if it's a bad product, people are going to go ahead and watch it no matter what. Look at what happened with Batman; it made its money. Look what happened with let's see, Iron Man 3. It made its money because people thought that was something they would go ahead and watch. I mean, it's just like drinking the sand and thinking it's water. People are going to go ahead and do that. People are going
I
to go
love
for
your
this.
analogies.
Water. If they don't have
Yeah, yes. If they're
water,
given sand instead of water, they're gonna drink it because they're gonna believe that it's water. And you know what? They're gonna go ahead and watch something that is 100% crap. Say it is. They're gonna go ahead and take it. Say it's let me see, what's it called, filet mignon, and think that it was the best thing in the world. And those of us who really understand and can actually smell will go ahead and say, ugh. What where did you get this out of? What crawled up there and died? You're gonna see this all the time. You know what? They're gonna keep it. They're gonna keep it. The only thing that's gonna go ahead and change anything is if Sony gets super desperate, super desperate for money, and they go ahead and say, "Will you buy this from us?" And Disney will go ahead and turn around, drive a truck over to their lawn, and drop a truckload of money for it.
but
They
you
will
have
do
to
that.
remember
I'm
something.
gonna take that movie.
You have to remember something. When it comes to this business, there are no pockets deeper than Disney.
Disney definitely has the upper edge on that. They have the cash. They have the cash flow. They have the parks. They can go ahead and do everything. They can get the character breakfast with Darth Vader. Come on, that sort of thing is gonna go ahead and
Wait.
give them the
Dude,
power of the
we can
Force to
do
go
that.
ahead and make the Marvel universe, to go ahead and get all the Marvel pieces. They're just missing a few pieces, and they're like chomping at the bit for these few little pieces. They're like, I need this. It's like the one kid with that one card, that little kid that little card is going, yeah, I got it. I'm not going to give it to you. And Disney wants that freaking card.
Well,
As much as I like what Disney did with Marvel, though, I mean, Iron Man 3, that was awful. You know what I mean? They really dropped the ball on that.
I
And as
blame
a,
the director, guys.
I mean,
I still blame the director.
No,
The
here
guy,
as a fan, they dropped the ball. It made more money. I mean, it made money, yes, but
yeah.
as a fan, that was bad. That
it's
was
just
really
like the Dark Knight again. There's people still who say, "Oh, I love Dark Knight Rises," and to us, it's like the worst tragedy I've ever seen. I mean, it's kind of like when Indiana Jones got raped in Peru, you know.
Oh, God,
But,
yes. Our
But-
friend got raped. Our
By the
friend
way-
got raped.
By the
but
way,
again, it's perception, and it's perception. Some people loved Iron Man. I've spoken to some people who loved Iron Man 3, and I can't change their minds. You know, they like what they like, and that movie struck a chord with some people, and for us, it didn't. So
and they hate a lot of
it
movies.
struck
that we
something. It
love.
wasn't a chord. It did strike something.
yeah,
Yeah, it kicked me right in the family jewels. That's what it did.
Orly, you
What?
just brought into my mind how Disney can make a lot of money and get a lot of us nerds over to Disneyland. If they did go ahead and offer a breakfast
They
with
do.
Leia,
they are, dude.
They do.
Slave Leia,
No, maybe save Leia, but that's
Yeah,
the after hours party at one of the
lap.
So right now, Star Wars weekend is happening in Disney World and all that. And
Oh,
for the
man.
first time this year, they've offered Star Wars character breakfast. And from what I hear, it's huge. The restaurants for the Star Wars character breakfast are completely booked.
I will go there, and I will go there and order me a dead Jawa with some Rancor stew.
And a
I
little
kinda
bit
wanna
of
try
Ewok on the side as your dessert.
Oh, no, I
What?
can't have guacamole, man. You know
Yeah.
I'm allergic to that stuff.
I want to have some blue milk. I want to drink blue milk.
Yeah, yeah, they have to have blue milk on there.
All right. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, again, we're going to be talking about X-Men next week. The week after that, you can catch Maleficent, and we're going to see how well Disney can do turning their classic cartoons into live-action movies.
They've already
For
started
all,
doing it.
yeah, for all the latest nerd news that you need to know, you can catch our Facebook page, facebook.com/nerdsoac. On Go ahead.
Before we go, though, let's mention one more thing. The new Guardians of the Galaxy trailer, man. Come on, we can't leave without mentioning that at least.
Oh,
Uh,
we were just watching
Well,
it right before the show.
We
It's
talked a little bit about it, and so far, I gotta say, I mean, I was gonna kind of pass over it because nothing really new
We got
been
to see a
there.
little more of all the characters.
Yeah,
I'm
we
glad
got-
we got to see
yeah.
Rocket talking.
Yeah, we got
Rocket.
talking, you know.
And also a raccoon grabbing onto his package. Anyway.
Yeah. And then you do go ahead and have finally I Am Groot talking.
Yeah, I mean, it was focused on the characters. Right now, I'm more interested in the plot.
Yeah, we don't
Because
know
that's
what's going on.
We saw pictures of Ronan the Accuser,
Yeah.
and
With
Chino,
his,
you know these guys.
mallet.
Who is he? Somebody explain.
Alright,
Who is he?
He's
Part of
Kree.
the Kree,
No.
man. He's Kree. He's part
Yeah.
of the alien.
Yes.
He's our judge, kind of.
Could you
Really.
explain to that to our audience who don't know?
The Kree is an alien society that races. Basically, they're a conquering alien race. They go to different planets and stuff like that and conquer them. And Kree is their executioner, or the judge. Actually, he's their judge. He shows up and he says, "This planet will be conquered, or this planet will be destroyed." You know, he decides. You know, and basically that's what they do. They're star-faring conquerors, basically. You know.
Yep.
And
And
then
it-
we also have.
He came out in Earth's Mightiest Heroes and Fantastic Four, the animated series, way back when. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just bringing it up for our viewers who are not quite familiar with them. And also, again, Karen Gillian shows up again. She's going to be the assassin.
You have
Uh,
Kratos in the background.
Yeah, but I'm still kind of like, well, what's the plot of this? That's my concern now.
Is
Well-
Thanos going to show up or something?
I mean Thanos, sorry.
Well,
Thanos
kind of-
has shown up.
This is
Avengers.
what bothered me about the Dwayne the Rock Johnson Hercules thing, man. They didn't tell me anything, you know.
And again, we're still on that. That's kind of why now I want to focus. You told me, I mean, the first trailer was just to whet your appetite. This one clearly focuses on the characters, which I'm like, all right, so far, all right, I'm into it. I'm getting there, but now I kind of want to know, well, what's the movie about?
Well, something tells me that they want to keep that a little bit of a secret just for a little bit longer. They're teasing us with everything. And, they don't want to hit us with the full right-out bondage yet. They're kind of like teasing that this happens. This is going to happen. This is going to happen. Maybe this might happen, but maybe not.
Oh,
And
there
yeah.
are clues. I mean, there are clues. They do tell us that this is the first time they meet. We know this. He says, this is where their first meeting. We see the interaction. I don't think they know each other before this, and something's bringing them together. We don't know what yet. And we got that line from Glenn Close, which was great, But
Oh,
fate
Glenn
is
Close.
on their hands, so we know something big is happening,
Yeah, so I guess this is an origin movie. Is that what you're saying?
I think
Basically, it is.
that's the feeling I'm getting. I'm getting origin movie. I might be wrong, but that's the feeling I'm getting.
All right, we got to wrap things up. We're a little bit over. Again, to catch all the nerd news and all that you need to know, you can catch our Facebook page, facebook.com/nerdsoac. And catch everything. We'll be giving you updates and all that. We are heading towards summer season. Convention season is coming up. You can, when Kelly is going to be our official Comic-Con correspondent, and we're going to have more Comic-Con news coming up next week. And we got some more movie news and hopefully more Star Wars news and movie news for you guys. And we'll have our X-Men review.
Yeah.
Right? All right. We'll catch you later. Thank you for watching.
All right, see ya.
Good night.